So today I'm covering the part two of this service-oriented analysis. In the first part, we have seen that in service-oriented analysis is divided into three major steps. The first step is define business requirement. So the business organization, they identify the requirement, they provide the requirement. So end user gives you the requirement related to service-oriented architecture, related to service-oriented analysis. Then define the business requirement. The first step is. Then second is identify automation systems. So the requirements are again automated, converted into services. So that is the step. So identifying the requirement. So identifying the services from the business requirement. And the third step is model candidate services. So model candidate services means the diagrammatic representation of the collected requirements, collected services, identified services. So the third phase. So here we are covering the third phase, service modeling phase in detail. So in part two, I have already created the video on service-oriented analysis. We have already seen all the three steps, but today I am explaining the third phase in detail. If you have not visited the previous video, so please see that previous video which is based on service-oriented analysis, so that you will get the idea. It's a part two of service-oriented analysis. And in this analysis, we are just concentrating on the third steps, that is called as service modeling. So how to convert the requirement into diagram. So how to diagrammatically the service is again represented. So today I am covering service modeling approach in detail. So this topic provides a detailed service modeling. We have identified the banking service, and then banking service is includes 4 to 5 major services. And let us see the detailed service modeling in this particular video. So, uh, so here the processes that steps up to the individual tasks required to produce the service and operation candidate. So here we are deciding that how to develop the web services, how to develop the web service client application, the requirement for that web service client application. So here we are analyzing the services and the operations required on that particular services. So let us see one by one. So here the two terms are again generally used. We know that business services or web services or web API versus service candidate. So here I am using the word called service candidate. We do not produce the services. We have not yet produced the services. We create the service candidate. Here the term is what? The service candidate is used because we have not yet produced the services. Therefore, instead of service, it is called as service candidate. Similarly, we do not define the service operations. We have not yet defined the service operations. Therefore, instead of operations, we are calling as service operation candidate. So here I'm using the two terms while explaining the service modeling. I'm using the two terms. The first term is service candidate and second term is service operation candidate. So why the candidate word? Because we have not yet produced the services or the service operations. We are producing the services and service operation with the help of modeling phase. So service candidate and service operation candidates are the end result of this service modeling phase. So let us see the service candidates and service operation candidates of service modeling phase. So this is what the detail phases included in the third phase of service-oriented analysis is the service model candidate services. So how to model the candidate services? So this modeling of candidate services is again divided into 12 different steps. These 12 different steps are very simple. So let us just concentrate with the help of example. I'm explaining all these 12 steps. So let us see one by one. So let us take the example bank web service analysis, and from the bank web service I have selected the one service which is again a complex service, and that service name is money transfer service. So amount transfer or money transfer service. So amount transfer service, what we have seen in previous video, that the individual service I have selected for the analysis purpose. So in case of money transfer service, this service is again divided into withdrawal amount from A's account, then deposit amount in B's account. So payee's account is again debited. So once A's account is credited, B's account is debited. Then update the balance of A and also update the balance of B. So this is what we have identified. So let us see the steps used in modeling, service modeling. The first step is decompose the business process. So how to decompose this money transfer process? So let us see the process of decomposition of business process. And here the business process is money transfer. So step one is decompose the business process. The explanation: take the documented business process and break it down into series of granular process steps. So let us see the steps of money transfer process with the help of diagram. So here generally activity diagram or flow chart is used for explaining the steps. So we are writing first the scenario, and afterward we are converting this scenario into flow chart, or you can say activity diagram, because it's a single service. So single service, single activity diagram. So here every service is again represented with the help of activity diagram or the flow chart. So the steps involved in money transfer phase is, the first step is start and end. So start symbol and end symbol. So generally start and end symbol we use at the time of activity diagram, at the time of flow chart. So after start, select the payee from the list. So what is the basic assumption? You add the payee and then you start this money transfer phase. So select the payee from the list. So suppose I am transferring the amount to B, so add that B's account in your application. So here assumption is B's account is already added, and from the payee's list I am selecting B's account. So I am assuming myself as a account holder, and I am transferring the amount to B's account holder. So B's account information, first I am storing that B's account holder name, B's account number, bank detail, all the details, IFC code. So everything is I am giving input. So that is the prerequisite. So after adding that particular account holder or payee, so I am selecting that payee from the list. So suppose I am transferring the 10,000 amount. So enter the amount. So I am entering 10,000 amount. Then enter the remark, transaction summary. So I am transferring the 10,000 to B's account. What is the purpose? So write the narration of that transaction, description of that transaction. Suppose I have taken the rent and I am giving back to that rent to B. So the summary is the rent. So remark is the rent I am returning to the B. So enter the remark. Then select your bank account. So if you have multiple bank account, you select the account. If you don't have the multiple bank account, you select your existing bank account. Then click proceed button. So these are the, whenever I'm designing the GUI, take this information and then click on proceed button. After proceeding the button, it summarizes the transaction. the A's account number, B's account number, amount, and confirmation button. So if I'm confirming S, then that document asks me the security information, that is my PIN information, the personal identification number, 4-digit number. So I'm providing that 4-digit number correctly and pressing the submit button. So here the basic flow is important and the alternate flows are also important. Suppose while confirmation, suppose I have pressed the no button, enter pin. If I have entered the incorrect pin, so that what happens? So you just concentrate on basic as well as alternate flows. So here I have just mentioned the basic flows. I have not included the alternate flows here. After pressing the submit button, display the money transfer information, successful or failure message. So these are the steps I have identified for transferring the money from my account to another user's account. So it's a banking web service, money transfer service. So I have identified the step. What is the next thing is included in modeling candidate services? The next step is converting that scenarios into a flow chart or a activity diagram. So start and stop, the basic symbol, then create and transfer money. So I'm clicking on money transfer GUI. I am providing the required details. Required details means select the payee's account, then enter the amount, enter the remark, then click on select your account and click on proceed button. So after clicking on proceed button, so I'm creating and transferring the money. So I'm clicking on proceed button. At the time of proceed button, you validate the transaction. You have properly selected the payee, you have entered the correct amount or that amount field is blank, enter the remark is given or not given. So you check that validation. If the information is not valid, you re-enter the required information. If I have provided the valid information and internet connection is also active, proper, then it will ask me the PIN information, 4-digit PIN information. So I am providing personal identification number, 4-digit number. If the number is incorrect, then it will re-ask that number. So you enter once again that personal identification number. So how many times? 3 times. If not, I have not given the PIN number correct uh, uh, 3 times, then my account is again, means the transaction is again ended there. If I have provided the correct PIN, then transfer the money. So if the answer is yes, I am transferring the money. So this is what the flow which is used in money transfer process. So you represent the scenario into diagrammatically. So here I have used the flowchart symbol or activity diagram symbol. The second step, identify business service operation. So I have identified the service. The service name is money transfer service, and service operations are, the first operation is withdraw the amount from A's account. So I am transferring the amount. So withdrawing the amount from A's account. So it's the post method. Then second step, what the operation I have identified, that deposit the amount to B's account, that is payee's account. So post method is also post method we have to use at the time of development. Then account credited message to A account holder. So send the account credited message. So for that, request response. So get method. So retrieving the message, balance and message, credited message to the A account holder, and then send the debited message to B account holder. Also the get method. So here also I have to use the get method. So identifying the business service operations. So I have identified the 4 operations. withdrawal, deposit, then credited message and debited message. Then the third step is abstract orchestration logic. Orchestration logic means if you have decided to build the orchestration layer. Orchestration layer is again optional in some cases. Here I am integrating the four different small services. Therefore, in this case, I required orchestration logic. Suppose I am developing single service, get service. In that case, this step number 3 is not required. So here I have written that if you are not incorporating the orchestration service layer, then keep this step. But here I am dividing the money transfer service into four small services. So here in this case I required orchestration logic. Orchestration logic covers these four rules, steps, four types, potential types. The first is business rule. So you apply the business rule. Business rule means what? Suppose I am transferring the 10,000. In that case, you check that A's account is again A account holder is having sufficient balance or not. So business rule. I am transferring the amount to B's account and I have provided incorrect account number, B's account number, incorrect. In that case, check the business rule. That is also a business rule. So A's account number correct, B's account number correct. I have sufficient balance. Then also I have fulfilling the business rules. So check the business rules. Then conditional logic. After validation, if the information is valid, then you go for next step. So conditional logic. So I'm clicking the proceed button, but the validation, some invalid information, so it executes the error message. So conditional logic, exception logic, sequence logic. So here the sequencing is also important. So I have decided the sequence. First I have my sequence is withdraw the amount from A's account, then deposit the amount to B's account, and then send the messages. So I am concentrating on sequence logic also, sequencing of the small services. So finalize the basic flow and alternate flows here in step number 3. So finalizing the flow. If the flow is finalized, well and good. If the flow is not finalized, revise. So step number 4, create business service candidate. So integration and processing of the business services. So integration of withdrawal service, deposit service, then credited message, debited message. So all the 4 services are again integrated and processed. So writing the logic analysis related to that integration process. So business service candidate. Then refine and apply the principles of service orientation. All the while developing the services must follow the principles of service orientation. And here I am including concentrating on 4 key principles. First is reusability. So I am reusing the web services. I am designing the or analyzing the reusable services. Then autonomy. So these independent services, they are not dependent on each other. So autonomy, independent. Then statelessness. So after execution, the information is not stored long-term basis. So statelessness and discoverability. So after developing the web services, I am providing the visual copy of the web services to the client application. So client can access my services with the help of that visual document. So discoverability is also one of the key principles. So I am covering these four principles. Then the step number 6 is what? Identify candidate service composition. So identify the set of most common scenarios that can take place with the boundaries of the business process. So business process is what? Money transfer is a business process. So you identify, you revise the candidate service. We are concentrating on money transfer candidate service composition. So money transfer service is divided into four small services: withdrawal, deposit, credited message, debited message. So you identify the set of most common scenarios that can be take place within the boundaries of our business process. So composition. So while integrating, so here step number 7 is for the revision purpose. So see here, I am revising the sequence. So here I am revising the sequence. So revise the business service operation grouping. So based on the result of the composition exercise in step number 6, revisit the grouping of your business processes, business process steps, and revise the organization of service operation candidate as necessary. So these are the four operations I have identified, and I am revising the steps. So my first operation is withdraw the amount from A's account, post method. The sequence number is same, but the second sequence I have considered in previously I am considering, I am giving second number to deposit method, but here I have revised that. So after withdrawal amount from A's account post method, immediately I am sending the message to A's account that your uh, account is credited. So withdrawal amount, then credited message is received by A, then you execute the deposit method. So deposit amount service. So then you execute. So I have changed the sequence number 2 to 3 for this particular step, depositing the amount to B's account, P's account with the help of post method. So slightly the sequencing is again changed. So I have revised the operation. So now my revised operations are withdraw the amount, then send the credited message, then deposit the account, and then send the debited message. So revising the business service operation. Then analyze the application processing requirement. So here you are concentrating on business process logic, service development logic. So you are concentrating on service development logic, not the client application. So here step number 8, you just concentrate on service development logic. The next step is service client development logic. So identify application service operation candidates. So think of client perspective. So service client development logic. So break down each application logic processing requirement into a series of steps. So here you can think of developing the client application, which technology the client should use for accessing the web services. So client development logic is again finalized here in step number 9. Step number 10, create the application service candidate. So group these processing steps according to predefined context. We have decided the sequence, operations, and now the service development logic and service client development logic is again tested with the help of step number 10. So you test the service development logic and service client development logic with the help of test cases. So grouping of processing steps. Then revise. So after grouping, so in step number 10, create the application service candidate. So we are testing the service as well as client application, and if some changes required in the after testing, if the tester raised some issues, and to close this issue, if you required some revision in the existing service or client operations, so you do that. So revising the candidate, final revision of service and final revision of application service operations. So this is what the detailed analysis phase. So detailed explanation of model candidate services, the third stage. So generally in organization, in IT organization, the detailed model candidate services means the detailed analysis is again took place with the help of these 12 steps. So today I am covering this much only.